It turns out that Satanism has some of the same squabbles that other religions have. In fact, this philosophy has what you might call denominations. And not everyone thinks a monument to Satan is a good idea. Here to give us this different view is Magus Peter Gilmore. He's the high priest of an older satanic group, the Church of Satan, founded by Anton LaVey in 1966. Welcome back to Interfaith Voices, Peter.
Oh, thank you for having me, Maureen. It's always a pleasure.
So when it comes to building this satanic monument at the Oklahoma State House, what's the official position of the Church of Satan?
Well, I'm opposed to any religious monument on public spaces. I'm a secularist, as are all members of the Church of Satan. What might be important to get across to your audience is first that they must understand that we are atheists. We are not devil worshippers. We do not support the devil. There's no faith in Satanism whatsoever. And where public grounds are concerned, we think that religion should be kept out of them, and that means all of them.
Do you think it emulates religion somehow?
Yes, absolutely. Satanism is really a secularist philosophy which has religious aspects, and we try to keep that away from being seen as just a me too like any other kind of religion. We don't venerate statues or put up idols. We think that each individual Satanist's life is the monument to how they have applied Satanism to bettering their lives. So we kind of see that as a pointless thing to indulge in. We think it's misleading to what Satanism actually promotes as a philosophy.
But you call yourselves the Church of Satan, but yet you say you aren't Satanists. I don't get it.
Satanism is defined by Anton LaVey. He took what was a term of a basic epithet of heresy and an insult and made an actual rational philosophy that uses Satan as a symbol, one of pride, liberty, and individualism, rather than some deity to be worshipped. So we are essentially a subset of atheism. He created it as a church because that was a good attention-getting device originally. And indeed, as atheists, we have more of a take on the human equation than most atheists do. They simply don't believe in God, and atheism is scattered all over the board as to where you go from there. Satanism is a particularly misanthropic approach, seeing mankind as just another animal, sometimes better and more often worse than the rest of the ones that live on this planet.
Even dogs and cats, huh?
Oh, yes. No, they're often far better than we are.
Well, now, you say your goal is not to mix religion and state, and that's the reason you're opposed to this monument. But doesn't that give you the same goals as the group that wants to put the monument there? Because aren't they putting it there in order to cause an uproar over that issue and perhaps overturn that statute?
Well, you see, they have to then say that. And the real point to that approach is if you tell them that you're doing it just as a lark to get things struck down, then you're struck down as being simply disingenuous or hypocritical. It gets attention because Satan, of course, gets lots of publicity. We know we started that game. But since the Church of Satan has been the preeminent Satanist organization for almost 50 years, the way they're going about it leads people to misunderstand Satanism. And we're the ones who have defined it since it's really begun as an actual religious philosophy.
It sounds like you're kind of a collection of atheists and secularists. So why bring Satan into this at all? What does Satan add to the mix?
Satan adds a very exciting and stimulating symbol. When we look at the legends of Satan, especially from people like Milton or Byron or any of the other romantics who have dealt with him, Carducci, he's shown as an unbowed individualist, one who won't submit to tyranny, one who is proud of being his own captain of his own destiny. And we find that to be inspiring. How could one not? If you're somebody who really feels that you need somebody to tell you what to do, who has to bow to a god or a politician, then we see how that could be frightening, which is also why we Satanists don't proselytize. We believe that Satanism is something that is natural to someone. They read the literature, they see themselves reflected in it. We don't go out there and try to tell people, you should be Satanists, the world would be better if everyone is Satanists. We don't believe that at all. We think that everybody must find the pathway that gives comfort and meaning to them for their lives. But what we advocate is that religions do not use their pathway and try to bludgeon other people with it and think they have the one true way. We don't think we have the one true way, and we don't want to be told by other people that we must submit to somebody else's idea of what that should be.
Magus Peter Gilmore is the high priest of the Church of Satan. Thank you so much for joining us today, Peter.
Well, thank you for having me back, Maureen. It's a pleasure.